Hello and welcome to Do It Like a Dancer. Obviously, a little different setup today, but I figured that while I have this setup, why not use it? So today I want to talk a little bit about aging. I was thinking about this because I realized it's been about 5 years since I started this channel. I started it, I think, back in like 2016 when I was still living in South Korea, and since then it's grown. I did neglect it for like a year or two in the middle, but it's grown really, really slowly, and now it's actually at over 1,000 subscribers, which is super awesome. But anyway, at the time when I started it, I was dancing professionally for a company and I was 26. So now I'm 31, and obviously I live in a country where it's not quite, we don't have dance companies. So I find other ways to do my work. I'm still dancing and performing professionally, but it's not at the same, like in the studio every day taking classes kind of situation. Still, there's a few reflections that I had around aging as a dancer, that I think that I wanted to share. They might be useful to you. I think, um, whether if you're a professional dancer, you might, be worrying about, how long is your career, how long you're going to be able to do this, which is valid because, dancers are athletes, and like athletes, there is a certain limit on how far and how long your body can go. But also for people who are maybe wanting to get into dance and they're a little older, like, what if I'm too old? Or, can I still do this if I'm older? This kind of stuff. And I just wanted to talk about some of this stuff. So I'll tell you a little bit, like, first, what I've noticed is, as an aging dancer, I mean, definitely I can tell that my body is getting older. It takes me longer to warm up, it takes me longer to cool down, and so I have to plan a longer workout time because it will take much longer to get to that place where I'm like super warmed up and ready to go, and then it will take longer to cool down, and if I don't do either of those, I will pay the price the next day, and that's no good. I noticed that the difference between like a kind of ouch that I need to push through, like a really stiff muscle, or an ouch that I need to pay attention to and back off. That difference has changed, and I'm still discovering what it is. So there's times where I think that I probably should have pushed through and I didn't, or times where I'm like, I really needed to take it easy and I didn't. And I noticed that I lose technique quicker. So that it's really, really important now to work almost daily. Otherwise, my technique gets messy. It just gets like, my jumps are not as high, my movements are not as crisp, they're repetitive. It's just not as energetic and flowy as I would like it. So those are some things that I've noticed. I mean, on the other hand, obviously, the older I get, the more I understand about movement. I think that I have more confidence in myself as a dancer. I'm more understanding of my body, so I know what it needs. I know what my habits are. I know what the habits are that I need to break. I know the things that have worked for me in the past. I know good methods of getting back into shape really quickly. I've learned more exercises. I know now, like my back, for example, these days is in a better position than it's really ever been. It's more flexible, and I know how to get it that way. So there's obviously pros and cons. I think that as you get older, because you know more, you can be more aware of what your body needs, and that's important because you need to be more aware. I do get the sense that, at a certain, not now, I mean, I'm only 31. It's not like I'm super old, But, and contemporary dancers do have a much longer performing career than ballet dancers, for example. So when I was in South Korea, the dance captain for the company that I was dancing for, Second Asia Dance Company, she was in her 40s, and she could put all of us to shame. But also because she worked very, very, very hard to maintain it. She stretched longer, she did more exercises. She was always the first in the studio and the last to leave. And she was like she was really, really working hard to maintain her body, which is why she was able to dance as long as she did. I think she's still dancing now. I mean, definitely, I would like to be performing until I'm 80, but I know that, it will not be at the level that I can do it now. Like now, I can do a 45-minute show with short breaks in between, and I can do that. I have enough energy and capacity to do that at a high level. That's not going to be the case. But the thing is like, because I have seen that my style has developed over the years and that I'm more confident in my ability as a storyteller, I'm not necessarily worried about that. Like I'm not going to be able to do, all these jumps and going up and down and, like getting off the floor and rolling around and all this kind of stuff. Like it's okay, because I think I can find other ways to express myself. There's a lot of ways to express yourself in movement which are not crazy technique. And I've always said that. And I've always been really like on that high horse that you don't need to be able to do, 32 frettes and put your leg up here to be able to be a good dancer and a good performer. So what I'm getting at here is don't be afraid of aging. Especially as a dancer. What I mean is, don't be afraid of aging as a dancer. It's just that your body changes. And I think that maintenance is of utmost importance. So doing the practice, keeping the exercises going, the flexibility, the stretching, all of that is just really important to maintain. And maintenance takes daily dedicated work. Let me know if you have questions in the comments. Again, I'm not gonna be, weird and pretentious and say like, I'm an aging dancer, because I'm not yet. I'm just sharing thoughts that like, I started dancing when I was really young. I, started dancing professionally when I was 25, and I'm 31 now. So I've seen the different, stages going throughout. Do let me know. If you like what you see, share it with a friend, do all the various YouTube things. And hey, if you are interested in learning more about the backstage, behind the scenes, messy creative process that goes into my creative work, support me on Patreon. You can support all of these videos that help me continue them on, as well as continue my creative YouTube channel and all of the various work that I do, storytelling, writing, poetry, all this kind of stuff. So check the link in the description of this video. And if you're interested more in my creative work, check out my creative channel. Thank you so much for being here and for supporting, and I will see you next time.